Hey guys, Coach Rob here at Rob's Fight Club, and I'm gonna go over some stance adjustments with you today. So I want you to understand where you should be with your stance, depending on your range and depending on the style of how you're competing. What style are you working on at that point? First of all, let's look at range. If you're at like a really long range, I'm way out here. It doesn't really matter what I do. I can walk around out here. I can breathe because nobody's in range to hit me. I can cross my feet. I can do fancy steps. I could be Muhammad Ali out here. Nobody can reach me anyway. So, it's just fancy stuff out here, or I'm just conserving energy. It doesn't matter really what I do. I would say conserve energy, right? Don't do the fancy stuff, But if you want to do a little Muhammad Ali, X step or something out there, Ali shuffle out there, then you can do some of that stuff when you're out a little further. But don't get too flashy, too fancy. Don't forget you got to fight to win. So out there, it doesn't matter. My hands can be down. It doesn't matter. My hands are down. Nobody can hit me. As I get in closer, I'm getting into a closer range here. My hand should be up a little higher. At least have my backhand up. If you got fighting out of a shell, which I don't recommend unless you're already advanced at boxing, then that's all good too, but at least have one of your hands up so that you're ready. Start getting into that right position. I'm not going to get into how to fight in the shell position today. It's not something you should be doing if you're newer at boxing. It may look cool, you may think you look cool, but you're going to get beat up if you try to do it. It takes a lot of good defensive skills to be able to fight in that position, all right? So try to learn a good basic boxing stance, one that's going to teach you the easiest ways of blocking first before you try to jump ahead and do the advanced stuff. All right, and it's not for everybody, the shell position. Some guys have really big arms and muscles that can't get their elbows in, then maybe that shell's gonna be a good position for them to fight in a lot of times, but it's a different situation there. Totally different defense, using shoulder rolls and blocks and things like that. All right, but now as I get in closer, if I'm in my traditional guard here, my long guard is like this. When I'm out at a longer range, I got that back hand up, got the elbows in, I got that front hand out in front, not all the way back in my face, because remember, I can jab a lot easier from this distance than having to come from here and throw it from here. This is your closed guard. When you're in close, you should have those hands in closer to your cheeks. It doesn't really make sense to do it from out real far. In fact, out far, I could even drop my front hand down and let it rest sometimes, and then bring it back into here, somewhere in that range. Here, I got to jab away from my face all the way out. So longer distance, longer guard, pretty much the backhand stays in a similar position. The front hand really adjusts mostly, depending on your distance. When you get inside closer, if you look at my feet, like from the long guard position, I have that toe to heel stance. But when I get in closer, a lot of times what I do is get a little bit wider. And that's because you're not going to be targeting across right at my solar plexus when I'm in close on you. Now we're worried a lot about the hooks and the uppercuts. So get a little wider so I can shift my weight from side to side and really generate a lot of force into my hooks and come up the middle nice with my uppercuts. And from a more neutral stance here, I can turn to this side or I can turn to this side on the inside and work off on different angles. Now that's getting a little more advanced, of course. But, for now, if you're newer at this stuff, try to think about, all right, when I'm out here, I got that front hand down in front of me, I'm working my long range shots, I get inside closer, I get a little wider, I try to work my hooks, my uppercuts. Make sure your chin is down. That's really important too. And if I'm out really far away, I can have my head way up in the air, no one can touch me. I start getting in closer, I bring that chin down. Now when I'm inside and I shift into my inside guard, closed guard here, then my chin's way down. I'm kind of like protecting myself with those hands on the sides of my cheeks. Not under your chin, sides of your cheeks all the time. This gets you hit, this is going to protect you. All right, and then if you come back out, let's say you came out with a jab, you get back into that long guard again. Now I have that toe to heel stance again with my left shoulder out in front of me. It's what's called a bladed stance, and I can protect myself with the jab again. All right, if you're fighting MMA, you may get a little wider with your stance at times. because you're looking for not to get your legs taken down. You're looking to try to maybe take somebody else's legs out from underneath of them with a double leg takedown or whatnot. So leg dive. So you got to, adjust your stance accordingly. Muay Thai kickboxing, leg kicks are allowed, a little wider with that stance. I need to be able to get leg checks in here. So it's a little harder if I stand like this. Guy can kick me in the thigh. I can't get that leg check as easy. So, you tend to widen your stance up a little bit. So those are some adjustments that you make. So hopefully that helps you. Let me know how you make out with it. Practice it in the mirror a little bit, working at different lengths and making small adjustments. Practice it on the bags, practice it when you're sparring. It's gonna help you a lot. Being in the right position at the right time is super important. Just a little bit of a difference in your angle change can make a world of difference in the boxing ring, giving you the advantage, taking it away from your opponent. So I'm Coach Rob, this is Rob's Fight Club, and I hope you're liking the videos, and give me a shout out, let me know how you're doing. All right, see you guys.